Welcome to the 10About Town podcast, everyone. I'm Brittany Bailey, and we're going to be talking about some events happening this week and into the weekend. And really, when it comes to the month of April, Dogwood Arts has you covered. So joining me today to talk more about this from Dogwood Arts, we have Shannon Herron and Vicki Baumgartner. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Well, let's talk about the thing that is happening sort of right now. The Dogwood trails are opening. Let's talk about those. Let's go way back. For people who maybe don't know what these trails even are, what they mean, or how you would get to them, let's give them the basics.
Okay, so the Dogwood Trails actually date back to 1955. So we are celebrating the 71st year along the Dogwood Trails, which is quite a long time. It started as a neighborhood beautification program after a New York author came through town, travel writer came through and said this was the ugliest city they'd ever seen in America. And of course, the Garden Club ladies at the time said, no, sir, we'll show you. And so off we went. And today, again, 71 years later, we're still celebrating those beautiful Dogwood trails that are all over town.
Way back then, how many trails were there, or how long could you actually go on them? Did it start pretty small and then grow?
The very first trail was in Sequoia Hills, and it only went from Cherokee Boulevard down to the fountain and circled back out. That was year one. But by year two, these volunteers had engaged other neighborhoods in other parts of town. So there were 4 trails, second year, third year, fourth year. And today we have 13 trails that cover over 90 miles.
And I think it's very important. You all have these trails in every quadrant of the city, right, Shannon? How important was it to do that, to spread it out?
Yeah, we want to make sure that no matter where you are in Knoxville, you're probably close to a Dogwood Trail, you know? And so we feature a different quadrant every year. Like Vicki said, there's 13 Dogwood Trails, so it's hard to talk about each one every year. And so this year we're featuring the beautiful trails in South Knoxville, Chapman Highway, Island Home, and Lakemore Hills.
And if you were to take that particular route, I know you can't get into every twist and turn, but in general, where would you start and where would you end to take that trail?
Yeah, you know, I think the Island Home Trail is really beautiful in South Knoxville. It's a great starting point. And really, as you travel, if you're, driving out west for a meeting, just, stop by a couple of the Dogwood Trails on your way. If you're running to Fountain City, just drive a couple of miles on that trail. No matter where you are, it's a really easy thing to just pop onto a trail and enjoy it this April.
And I think the nice thing about this, too, is you can do it in one of two ways. You can drive through and do a driving tour if you're not able to get out and walk, or you can get out and enjoy the beauty and, listen to the birds chirping and walk along, right?
Yeah, like the Sequoia Hills Dogwood Trail is a great one to get out and walk. There's a boulevard through almost the entire trail that you can really enjoy by foot. Some of the trails are a little bit harder to do by foot or on a bike, but some of them are really geared for that, and you can find details on which ones we recommend to get out and walk on our website as well.
And Island Home is a great one to walk too. It's a neighborhood of bungalow houses, a historic neighborhood that's really beautiful, and they have sidewalks throughout all of Island Home, and then it goes around to the park, so you can actually go down into the park and stop and sit by the water. And it's that old adage of stop and smell the roses. We like to say stop and enjoy the dogwoods, because it's just such a beautiful time of year that we need to all just take that minute and let that blood pressure fall just a little bit when you get out and experience the beauty of spring in Knoxville.
Well, I haven't been out and about quite yet. How are the blooms looking this year?
The blooms are here.
They're a little early for us.
All of that warm weather, just,
Yeah.
they open really quickly when it's warm. And so we're encouraging people to sort of do the front end as far as getting out on the trails and doing the nature part of what we do. But then we'll have activities that go through the entire month. So we've got lots to celebrate and a lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, so the Dogwood Trails go from April 1st through the 30th, the whole month. What else is happening? What's next?
Yeah, so the first big event that we have this April is Chalk Walk. It's everyone's kind of favorite big community tradition. That's coming up on Saturday, April 11th. It's in downtown Knoxville and Market Square. We kind of take over downtown. There's 300 artists participating this year. My favorite part of that event is that it's everyone from kindergartners up to professional artists that get to work alongside each other, be inspired by each other. And I think, people just really love to watch art being made. It's such a, a lot of artists, work in a studio. You don't get to see that process as much. And so I think it's really cool for the community to get to see artwork being made and, stop by in the morning and then come back in the afternoon and even the next day and enjoy the beautiful work that people can create in chalk on the sidewalk.
And how do people get involved in this? You said there are 300 some people. People had to sign up. Do they have to try out for this, submit artwork? How does that work?
Yeah, we just have a registration form that opens every fall. It's usually in August or September. And I'll tell you, it fills up within about 24 hours. It's our most popular event. It's free to participate, and so people really love it and they get really passionate about it. We've had some artists who have participated from a child, and now they're professional artists, and they still keep coming back. We have an artist who actually moved to New York a few years ago, and she still flies down for Chalk Walk. She's done it every single year, and so it really has become a tradition for people. I believe we're celebrating our 16th or 17th year for Chalk Walk this year.
Well, I love it for sure. Let's talk about another event tied to Dogwood Arts, the Featured Gardens. You have Featured Gardens.
And then the next weekend following Chalk Walk, we'll roll right into Featured Gardens. We have 3 spectacular gardens that are open that weekend. Only one of them requires a reservation this year, and that's because of size and parking and proximity. Not all of us can park 80 to 100 cars at our private residence like a couple of our gardens can. So all of that information is online, but we're going back to Dr. Solomon's garden at Gay Top, which is it's an 18-acre property, and 11 of it is in garden, if you can imagine. It's truly spectacular. It's archived with the American Institute of the Smithsonian Institute of American Gardens. It's a mouthful. And the Savage Garden is also archived with the Smithsonian. So we have some real special garden treasures right here in Knoxville. And then the third one is a private property on Lions View Pike, and as I said, you'll need a shuttle reservation for that. And all the information's online there at dogwoodarts.com.
What are some of the special features you can see at these particular gardens, why people would want to go and see them?
My goodness, Dr. Solomon at Gay Top has a sculpture collection that is absolutely phenomenal. He has over 300 varieties of conifers in that garden. It is just, it's an old marble quarry, so the outcropping of marble is amazing. Just these enormous stones, and the kids can climb on it, and it's just a really beautiful place. It also was a horse cemetery for Knoxville back in the day when the horses pulled all of the working vehicles for the city, the wagons and the ambulance and the police cars and everything. So that's an interesting feature. And when they were cleaning out this garden, they found a lot of horseshoes. So he's dedicated this lower level of the garden to Knoxville's working horses. So it's a lot of special stuff out there. And then Savage Garden is just a mastery of stonework. It's absolutely incredible, and it's about 120 years old at this point, maybe not quite that old, but it's been brought back to its original glory and is a lovely, lovely space to visit.
Lots to do for sure. Any last things we want to mention, Shannon, and of course tell people where they can go to get all of this info we've talked about?
Yeah, our kind of signature event happens the last weekend of April, so right after Featured Gardens, we roll right into the Dogwood Arts Festival. It kind of combines everything we do and everything we talked about today, from natural beauty and artwork to live music, and so we definitely encourage you to come out to that event. It's April 24th to the 26th. Definitely follow us along on Instagram and Facebook at Dogwood Arts, and visit dogwoodarts.com. You can check all the event details, get those shuttle reservations for Featured Gardens, and plan your springtime adventure with us.
Well, thank you both so much. So many things to see and do and to enjoy the beauty of Knoxville, not what the New York Times had to say all those years ago, right?
We have definitely proved them wrong.
Well, thank you both so much. And of course, there are many other ways to celebrate spring. Lots of folks, of course, celebrating Easter. So let's take a moment to see what people will be hopping into this weekend. If you're looking for some fun events, here are some things that might be exactly what you're looking for this month. First up, let's hop up the road to Newmarket, where the Volunteer Fire Department and Rescue Team will host the 15th Annual Easter Parade and Egg Hunt. It's April 4th, kicking off with the parade, which lines up on Old Andrew Johnson Highway at the Old Lost Creek Golf Course and starts at 5 p.m. It ends at the Newmarket Fire Department with an Easter egg hunt, and there are more than 10,000 eggs. Ancient Lore Village will host an Easter egg hunt on Saturday, April 4th. The cost is $17 per guest. Children 3 and younger get in for free. The egg hunt starts at 9:10 a.m. and a meet and greet with the Easter Bunny starts at 9:30. Make sure to bring your own camera. Ancient Lore Village is located on Sevierville Pike in Knoxville. And then we'll hop over to Covenant Health Park, where the Knoxville Smokies will kick off their 2026 season on April 3rd. For their first Sunday game on the 5th, fans can look forward to pictures with the Easter Bunny, and after the ball game, children 12 and younger can go egg hunting on the field, where the bunny has hidden 20,000 Easter eggs. You can visit the website to learn more. Another exciting event is coming up this weekend at World's Fair Park. And joining me now to talk more about that is Maddie Kofer with First Baptist Church. And we're going to talk about a big Easter egg hunt, right?
That's correct. So this Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m., First Baptist is hosting our annual egg extravaganza. It is from 2 to 4 p.m. and it's open to the public and everything is free.
And I know there are a lot of other things besides the Easter egg hunt, but I really like getting into the logistics of this hunt. How many eggs, how they were hidden, how it's going to work for the kiddos. Are they going to be, divided up into age groups? Give me all the details.
So we have about 20,000 eggs.
Woo!
We are hoping for about 2,000 people this year. And our eggs are spread across the entire park. As you visit things like an inflatable or our balloons or bubbles, there'll be a section there designated for eggs. So as you travel across the park, you are able to stop, pick up a few eggs, and at the end of your day, you take those eggs and exchange them for candy. Everyone's favorite.
And so basically the eggs you're picking up are empty. You exchange them later.
Absolutely.
Okay. Which makes sense. You don't want kids sort of opening them up in the middle and then tossing them aside. They need to keep them, right?
Yes.
And how about age groups?
Open to anyone, children of all ages. It's important that we're accommodating whether that child's 2 years old or maybe 15 years old and wants to jump in on the fun. So all ages, all abilities are welcome to come.
And you said this is the 5th year?
I believe so,
that
yes.
You've been doing it. Why does your church want to do this?
We do this just as a way to show the community that we love them. This is a free event for everyone. So the goal in this is to allow anyone to come and enjoy Easter. They do egg hunts. We have inflatables. We have a petting zoo, bubbles, and balloons. But it's also important for us to tell the story of what Easter means to us and the story of Jesus. So it's a way for First Baptist to say we love you and that Jesus loves you.
And so these past few years for the event, I imagine you have been there. Tell me what it's been like to see everybody coming out and enjoying Easter on Easter weekend.
Very, very exciting. So this is my first year in the director position. I have 3 small children of my own. So in the past, I've been just a mom attending in a way. So it's exciting and it's heartwarming to know that the community of Knoxville comes together to celebrate Easter, which we all love with the candy and the eggs, but also to know that we're all coming together to celebrate Jesus is very important to me as the director of this program, but also as a mom. So it's just exciting to see Knoxville come together.
And if parents want to bring their kiddos out, what do they need to know about any sort of registration ahead of time, what they should or should not take with them, any cost associated with this?
No cost associated. You can bring whatever you want with you. There's no security guards or anything saying, no, clear bags. No, please come. We want you to come. You can pre-register online through our website or through our Facebook page. We will have QR codes there the day of and pen and paper. So we want to accommodate everybody's ability to register.
And we know kids will get snacky. Should parents bring things with them, or are there going to be things available for purchase?
Absolutely. No purchase necessary. We have free water, popcorn, and cotton candy, and then, of course, our candy in exchange for eggs.
We should warn parents then that the cotton candy is going to be there. The kids might be on a sugar high with the candy and the cotton candy.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about some of the other events you're having associated with Easter. You have a service on Thursday and on Sunday?
Yes. So on Thursday evening at our church, we are having an experience for Maundy Thursday called To Experience the Passion. And it's 18 stations set up where you visit. It's a drop-in service from 4 to 8. You visit each station and you get to experience what the life of Jesus was like leading up to his death and resurrection. So that's something that is more appropriate for adults or older children, but it's just a great way for us to come and have a hands-on experience about that. And then Sunday morning, we have Sunday school at 9:45 and a combined service at 11 a.m. That includes baptism and decorating a cross with flowers, open to all.
And I imagine that on Saturday, you'll also be talking to people who are there about your church and the various services you have and things like that. Anything, say I was there on Saturday, what would you tell me about your church?
Well, our church is open to all people. We love all people. We want everyone to come if they can. On a normal Sunday, we have an 8:45 service that is contemporary and a bit more laid back. Wear your blue jeans and come and sing along with us and worship with us. We have Sunday school at 9:45 for children ages 0 to the oldest adult you can imagine, and then we have an 11 a.m. traditional service that you can see in person or it's streamed through the CW.
And if folks want to get all of this information about your services, but maybe also about the Big Saturday Extravaganza, where can they go online?
They can visit our website, firstbaptistknoxville.org, or they can visit our Facebook page.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for stopping
Thank
by,
you.
and good luck at the fun event this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Well, of course, also this weekend, especially on Easter morning, sunrise services are very popular. So here's a look at some of the ones happening around our area this weekend. For many Christians in East Tennessee, Easter Sunday services are best at sunrise. Easter sunrise services are symbolic of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and there are many services planned here in East Tennessee. The Knoxville Botanical Garden will host its annual service at 7 a.m. on April 5th. Chairs will be provided, and you are encouraged to dress warmly. It will last about an hour. In Gatlinburg, Ober Mountain will host its 29th annual Easter sunrise service. It starts at 6:30 Sunday morning and will be led by Smoky Mountain Resort Ministries. Guests can take a complimentary ride on the Gatlinburg tram starting at 5 that morning, and free parking is also available if you'd like to drive. There is a breakfast buffet afterward, but you will need to pre-purchase a ticket for that online. And Maryville College will host an Easter sunrise service at 7 a.m. It will take place on Lloyd Beach across from Lloyd Hall. The college hosted its first Easter sunrise service all the way back in 1918. Everyone is welcome. Baseball returns to Covenant Health Park this week when the Knoxville Smokies kick off their home opener. And joining me now from the Smokies to talk more about this is Amanda Rich. Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely. Excited.
All right, big exciting time. The team is back in town from spring training. How are things looking for the team this year, do we think?
Yeah, we're really excited. The team arrived yesterday. We're getting ready for Media Day tomorrow and ready to open the gates for the fans on Friday.
And this is going to be the second year in Covenant Health Park. If you had to look back before we look forward, how did the first year go at the park, do you think?
Yeah, the first year was great. Our return to Knoxville was great. The city welcomed us. The fans welcomed us back. So now that we're established for a year, we're ready to kind of come back bigger and better than we were last year.
And are there any new things people will see or notice about the park if they haven't been since last season?
Absolutely. New for this season, we have our Knox Vegas identity, so paying homage to the nightlife and excitement that the city of Knoxville has to offer. So every Thursday, we'll take over the ballpark with the Knox Vegas identity. Lots of cool kind of casino-themed activities coming along, and new stuff coming every Thursday throughout the season.
Yeah, always fun theme nights and giveaways and things like that. You probably can't name them all off the top of your head. I won't make you, but if you had to list some highlights, what would those be?
Yeah, some new and exciting ones coming back. We've got Dancing with the Smokies, Country Night. We've got a Crayola Night for the kids, and then fan favorites like All You Can Eat Wednesdays, Thirsty Thursdays, and of course our Summer Fireworks series.
Oh, we love that, right? And there are always fun things for the kiddos, is right. Are you doing some of those things this year where the kids get to do some things on the field here and there, and you have, entertainment ahead of that on the plaza? Let's talk about that.
Absolutely, yeah. We really plan to activate the plaza this year, so we'll have lots of pregame activities. We'll have a train for kids running out there, live music, games, and activities, and then we'll keep the party going for the kids once you get inside the stadium too, with those on-field promotions, post-game kids run the bases, and all sorts of other fun stuff on field.
And let's really focus on the home opener. When is that and what's happening? Lots of extras when it comes to that.
Yes, this Friday, April 3rd, is the home opener, and we're home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So big weekend for us. Lots of exciting things. Our full lineups on Friday. Saturday, we've got fireworks, and then Sunday's our Easter celebration with the Easter Bunny, post-game egg hunt on the field, and all sorts of freebies and giveaways.
And it's the Birmingham Barons, right?
Correct,
That the
yes.
Smokies will be facing. What do we think that matchup's going to be like?
Oh, well, we're hoping for a Smokies W. We're hoping to fly that flag.
And then when people are coming and maybe they haven't been there before, so let's remind them of the different seating. I mean, from standing room only to some of the elite seats. What can people buy? And are those tickets all still available for this weekend?
Yes, tickets are still available. Friday and Saturday are looking slim, but get them now while they're still out there. And yeah, we have a ton of seats for whatever your preference is. We have great premium picnic venues, really standard, just a box seat. If you like a little bit premium than that, you can get a cushion seat, down to our mesh seats behind home. We have something for everyone.
And what else should people know about this upcoming season? I mean, the excitement has been building. How do you sort of make this season even better, building off a really exciting opening season last year?
Absolutely. Well, we try to pack more fans in, keep adding those promos, keep things exciting, keep new promos coming, and also giveaways. The fans love freebies, so the more giveaways and the more free things that we can pass out, we're hoping more fans will show up for us.
And I know that throughout the season, a couple of little things got added, especially when it comes to food options.
Yeah.
Where do we stand with that this season and anything new?
Yeah, we have actually just released a whole new series of food options that will be available, from loaded hot dogs to Philly steaks, even a few different funnel cakes. So we'll have new items coming throughout the season as well, especially based around kind of our different theme nights.
And then when people are there, they need to know about some things that they can and cannot bring. Let's remind people about the policies as far as cashless and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cashless stadium, we've got a clear bag policy. We do allow medical bags and diaper bags upon check-in, and cashless and clear bags.
And the other thing that is new recently is that you all have decided to open the stadium, or the people in charge of the stadium, to the public during sort of every day. Why do you think that was important for the community?
Yeah, I think it's important to make it accessible, right? It's this hub kind of right in downtown. You see it when you pass by. So allowing the locals to be able to feel like they're part of that and connect with it. You are welcome here. You're open. Anybody's welcome. Come in, morning, lunch, after dinner. Check it out. See what we have going on, whether it's the field transition from soccer back to baseball, or just setting up for a theme night. You know, we want the fans and the locals to feel like they're part of this Covenant Health Park kind of community.
And what has been the feedback that you have been hearing from people? You know, I know that it was a big thing to build this in the location that it was. And by the way, speaking of that, let's remind people of some of the history of where this stadium was built, where you can see that history even right outside the stadium in the form of some statues to the bottoms.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the Giants Landing, a couple odes with different statues to the ballpark and the history with the Knoxville Giants, and just the history of the team and the branding.
And then if folks want to find out more information about the Smokies and they want to say, where can I get my tickets? What is going to be the theme night? When can I go? Where can they go for all
Absolutely.
of that info?
SmokiesBaseball.com has it all, and so does our social media channels.
All right. Anything else people should know ahead of this big opening weekend?
Go Smokies.
That's a perfect way to end it. All right. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate it. And we're going to talk baseball going into boxing. And there is a new play opening at the Clarence Brown Theater. Here's a preview. The Clarence Brown Theater presents The Royale. It was written by Marco Ramirez and explores the racially segregated world of boxing through Jay the Sport Jackson, who dreamed of being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. And this was inspired by the real-life story of Jack Johnson, who back in 1910 became the first black world heavyweight boxing champion. The Royale is an unflinching look at society, greed, and dreams. It runs through April 12th at the Jenny Boyd Theater on the University of Tennessee campus. Thanks so much for being with us here today. We hope you enjoy all of those spring events and the Easter events coming up this weekend. And we are looking forward to next week when we will be talking about the Hard Knocks Roller Derby and also a new film festival coming to town. And by the way, don't forget that you can always check out 10About Town every day at 4 p.m. on Channel 10. And of course, streaming here on WBIR+. We have more streaming for you right now after this.